She had 100 boyfriends, but she never chose any of them because they were never hers to begin with. In the forgotten valley of Nkalanga, the wind did not just move through the land, it whispered. Villagers believed those whispers carried the voices of ancestors, watching, judging, remembering, because in Nkalanga, nothing was ever truly hidden. Not love, not betrayal, not desire. And yet, for generations, the village lived in fragile peace, a simple rhythm. Men worked the land, women built the home, children ran freely beneath the wide African sky. Everything had its place. Everything made sense. Until the day something changed. Not suddenly, not violently, but quietly, like a thought that doesn't belong to you. The Harmattan winds came stronger that season. Dust filled the air, the sky turned pale, almost unnatural, and the birds stopped singing. That was the first sign, but no one understood it then, because when she arrived, no one was looking for danger. They were only looking at her, Amina Kessa. She walked into the village like she had always known the path, barefoot, unhurried, untouched by the dust swirling around everyone else. Her skin deep and flawless, her eyes calm, almost too calm, and her braids decorated with small golden beads that caught the sunlight like something alive. She did not greet anyone. She did not ask for permission. She simply existed, and that was enough. Now here's where the story becomes strange, because nothing she did should have caused what came next, but it did. At first, it was just a glance, a fisherman pausing longer than usual, a hunter missing his step, a young farmer forgetting what he was doing entirely. Small things, forgettable things, but they didn't stay small, because the next day they noticed her again and again and again, and slowly, without realizing it, they began to follow her, not openly, not together, but one by one, each man convinced he was the only one who felt it. And here's the question that no one asked, but everyone should have. Why her? What was it about Amina Kessa that made ordinary men forget their entire lives? She never called them. She never touched them. She never promised anything. She only smiled, softly, briefly, and that smile felt personal, like it belonged to you alone. But it didn't, and that was the beginning of the end, because obsession does not arrive like a storm. It grows, quietly, patiently, until it becomes everything. Days passed, then weeks, and the village began to change. Husbands came home late, or not at all. Friends stopped speaking. Brothers avoided each other's eyes, and no one wanted to admit the truth. They were not in love. They were losing control. And still, Amina said nothing. She walked through the village, as calm as ever, as if none of it concerned her, which only made it worse, because when something affects everyone, but belongs to no one, it becomes dangerous, very dangerous. The women saw it first, the distance, the silence, the shift. They asked questions, but no one answered, because how do you explain something? You don't understand yourself? And so, the tension grew, until it broke. Arguments turned into shouting. Shouting turned into violence. Men who once shared meals now stood ready to fight, all for something none of them truly had. And yet, every single one of them believed she chose him. Now think about that. A single woman, dozens of men, and every one of them certain they were special. That belief alone was enough to destroy everything. So the elders stepped in, because when a village begins to fall apart, It is no longer a private matter. It becomes a threat. They gathered at night, around firelight, where truth is supposed to reveal itself. But this time, truth did not come easily, only fear. Some said she was a witch. Others said she was a spirit, a test, a punishment, or worse, a reflection. But no one had proof, until one man decided to find it. A fisherman, quiet, observant, not easily shaken. He had watched longer than the others, not just her, but what she was doing to them. And one night, he followed her. This is where everything changes, because what he saw was not meant to be seen. The forest was darker than usual, not just night dark, but heavy, as if the air itself did not want him there. Still, he moved forward, slowly, carefully, until he saw it, a hut, hidden, impossible, because it had never been there before. And yet, there it stood, waiting. Amina walked inside without hesitation, and for a moment, he almost turned back. Almost. But curiosity is stronger than fear. So he stepped closer and looked inside, and in that moment, his understanding of reality collapsed. There was not one Amina. There were three, identical, perfect, each one sitting calmly, each one aware, each one watching him. Now imagine that. Three versions of the same person, not moving, not speaking, just existing. And then they turned at the same time and spoke in one voice. "You are number 43. That was all. No explanation, no warning, just an